All right, it's Dave. Welcome back to the Neocon Job channel. It's my political endeavor where I talk about neocons and how they're kind of ruining the world. Um, let's talk about how Tulsi Gabbard is the only one right now who's running for president who has like an incredible, I guess, precision in the way she talks about things. Venezuela right now is an issue. The United States has intervened in Venezuela, and some people think it's a bad idea. I think it's a horrible idea. Tulsi Gabbard has said that we're basically using starvation techniques in order to get the people to say, okay, enough, we'll take your puppet, the one that you want to give us, just give us some food. And it's not throughout the entire country, but it is a technique that we are using. And people like Debbie Wasserman Schultz, just, some of these figures on the left are despised universally by the left and the right because they've become neoliberals or neocons or whatever you want to call them. And they think that if you're not for us, in who said, remember George W. Bush, if you're not for this, you're for the terrorists? Remember that? That was crazy talk. Basically, it was like, in your mind, you're thinking, well, I better be for this then because I'm not for the terrorists. And, and there was a lot of talk about the scaremongering that went on. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz is taking a page from the George W. Bush, Dick Cheney playbook. And she's saying the same crap. If you're not for getting rid of Maduro, then you should be kicked out of the Democrat Party. She's talking about Bernie Sanders, by the way. Again, I'm not a Bernie guy. I'm a Tulsi Gabbard guy. If Tulsi Gabbard doesn't get to the nomination or at least get to the convention with delegates, I'm just not into it at that point. I don't know. I'll have to see how the whole thing shakes out. I might take a look at Howard Schultz. I don't know if I can take a look at... I'll take a look at Trump because, the economy is okay, and I just wish that he would stop hiring neocons for his administration. It's just, this is not what I thought Trump was going to be when it came to foreign policy. It seems, and the whole thing with North Korea, I've been told that, he walked away because all his inner circle said, no, we need to keep this issue alive. We need to just keep it alive. And if you're not getting the full boat, if you're not going to actually negotiate, which Trump didn't really negotiate, he gave ultimatums and they basically said no. But until he negotiates, they're afraid, according to Tulsi Gabbard, and I believe this, they're afraid that we're going to knock the crap out of them and take over their country. And they want safeguards, and because this is what the military, the U.S. military, is known for. It just... And North and South Korea are talking again, and they may not even need the United States to broker peace or negotiate a deal. They may not need us, and that's the weird thing about all this. But getting back to this whole idea that if you're not for blowing up and then rebuilding a country, you can't be a Democrat. And the same stuff happens on the right, on the Republican Party, where all of these war hawks who are just, it's like baked into the entire Republican Party. And I was duped by it for many years. I was cheerleading along with everybody else. Yes, weapons of mass destruction. We need to find those, and we need to get Saddam Hussein. I'm like, years later thinking, what did that have to do with American security? What did that have to do with anything? They're not the ones that caused 9/11. The Saudis are, and we could go into the relationship we have with the Saudis in Yemen and what they're doing over there. And it makes perfect sense. We just keep propping up all of these war states so government contractors can continue to make a ton of money. That's what it's about. And it's a very narrow industry. Not too many people I know work for a government contractor making military hardware or software or whatever. It's, but this is what we've come to. I mean, there are a lot of people employed at the Pentagon. I mean, this is, hey, you want to reduce the size of government? Reduce the size of the military footprint on the world. You want to save trillions of dollars? Follow Tulsi Gabbard's advice. You know what I mean? Tulsi Gabbard is smart because she knows that this message is going to attract a lot of people from different walks of life. From people like myself who I don't consider myself anywhere near a progressive. I am a pragmatist. I look at what's best for my family and country. And when I hear talk about let's go here and intervene, I go, well, why not go down to the streets of Fort Myers and see if you can intervene down there and take care of some veterans that need help, or take care of some homeless, or there's a list, take care of people that are incapable of taking care of themselves, end of life care, all kinds of things I can think of. The opioid epidemic, I mean, let's be honest. And by the way, people on the left and the right, if you needed a rallying point where you could actually talk to each other, this is a topic that would unite rather than divide. And the media, though, isn't going to help this. The media, by the way, is, I think, the enemy of the people. I think Trump is correct. And I know a lot of people cringe at that expression because they think a dictator has spoken and told everybody that he doesn't want any scrutiny. That's not what this is about. The media is just running a narrative. And if you watched Joe and Mika on MSNBC as they try to destroy Tulsi Gabbard and make her into an Assad apologist, as Meghan McCain tried to, and all these other people are constantly asking her, oh, do you think Assad's a bad guy? I mean, imagine, and yeah, give her sodium pentothal. I guarantee you she's going to say, yeah, he's a bad guy, but we should still not go in there. And these people can't get it through their thick skulls that that's an actual policy, that we could actually abstain from war. We don't have to go to war every time there's a dictator who needs to be ousted according to the United States. Let that dictator stay in power and let the natural forces in the region do what they're going to do. Whether it's within the country or with neighboring countries, it's not our problem unless bombs and rockets start falling toward the United States. And then, of course, you put up a defense, and that's what we should do, and then maybe even go on offense. But this idea of strike first and ask the questions later, that's gotten us into a lot of trouble. And over $20 trillion in debt, ladies and gentlemen, so it's a lot of money. That's it. I'm done with this video. Tulsi Gabbard telling it like it is as far as the Venezuela issue goes, and that's why she's got my vote right now. See you soon.